Hello, wine enthusiasts. Welcome to the Daily Taste for Monday, June 6th, 2022. Those of you who listen to my podcast know that I'm always looking for great wine stories to share with the listeners. As I've said numerous times, one of the biggest perks to working in a winery is the great people you get to meet and the amazing stories you get to hear. Last week, I had the opportunity to interview Richie Allen, Australian native and current Vice President of Winemaking and Viticulture at Rombauer Vineyards. Richie and I discussed many things, but I wanted to share this awesome story with you. Being from Australia and studying wine there, Richie talks about his experience working for Penfolds, Australia's most famous winery.
Yeah, Penfolds, they really hit their stride like in the late 1950s, early 1960s. And it is a very iconic brand, I guess, in Australia. And they make Australia's most famous wine range. I was moving to Adelaide to study winemaking, and I'd been there a couple of months earlier to sort of look around the campus and see it. And we went to Penfolds McGill Estate, which is sort of in the outer suburbs of Adelaide. It's the original winery, which was built in the late 1890s. And went to the tasting room, and I bought a lot of wine because I loved Penfolds red wines. And when I moved back there, my girlfriend at the time, she came over and I said, I want to take you to this winery. I'd love to work here one day, and learn what they do with red wine. And we walked into the tasting room and she goes, this is my boyfriend. He's studying winemaking. How does he get a job here? And they just happened to be looking for weekend staff at a tasting room, which is called the Cellar Door in Australia, and did that and got to work in the cellar at McGill, which is, it's old square concrete tanks. There's no stainless steel. I got to do Penfolds recorking clinics, pretty much every job imaginable for a cellar, like trainee at Penfolds, I got to do. And I think the most exciting thing was, they were part of a bigger company called Southcorp back then. This is pre-Treasury. And they had warehouses all around the world, lots of brands. And every year the winemakers would taste every wine that was in stock that was more than 12 months old in the bottle and go through them, and all the samples would be at McGill. And this would usually coincide with spring break or mid-year break for university. So I'd go there and open all the bottles and get to taste the wines with the winemakers. And that was honestly where I learned the most about wine in bottle in my career, because they do 300 or 400 wines a day looking for faults. And it was literally like, we can keep this wine longer. We need to sell it straight away or it needs to be destroyed. And learning about wine in the bottle was amazing. And it helped John Duval, who was the head winemaker back then. I knew his son Timmy pretty well, who was studying law back then. And so John knew I was studying winemaking. So anything that was bad, they'd be like, Richie, come taste this. This is an example of this. Richie, come taste this. This is an example of this. And, got the taste ferments with Peter Gago, who was sort of the on-site winemaker, who's now the chief winemaker for Penfolds. And it was really a huge learning experience for me. Soaking it all in, and probably learnt more about how to make good wine from $5 a bottle up to $1,000 a bottle in a very short period of time than most winemakers would see in their lifetime. So it was pretty cool.
If you love Rombauer wines like I do, I encourage you to listen to part 1 of my interview with Richie as part of a new episode of the Obsessed with Wine podcast on Saturday, June 11th. As Father's Day approaches, I'll be creating a page on the show website called Father's Day. There, I will post great wine gift ideas for all the wine-loving dads out there. I encourage you to go to www.obsessedwithwine.net if you need a good idea for a special wine gift for Father's Day. Finally, I will be out of the country for the rest of this week and next week. I will not be posting Daily Taste segments while I'm gone. You can hear the next Daily Taste segment on June 20th when I return. Thank you very much. I will see you June 20th for another Daily Taste. Cheers!